Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Foster and this is my fourth video blog for Brian Johnson's multimedia reporting class. As the assignments go on, I just really find myself liking multimedia journalism a lot more and more. I really like every single assignment, but this one especially was really fun. And it was definitely because I got to talk to Jim Pugh, who's one of the coolest people, musicians in general. And it was just, Steely Dan is one of my favorite bands, and over the summer I had discovered that one of the members of the horn section was a professor at U of I. So that was how I discovered Jim. It was really exciting. He's a very humble person and he's so talented, so it was really cool to just feature his story. When I was leaving the interview room, he told me that not very many people featured the jazz department, so it was really cool that he felt that it was really cool that I could tell their story and tell his story, and I was really excited because I think that's the purpose of journalism. Great, so I learned a lot through this assignment, especially all of the different components of multimedia. I had a little trouble checking out the light kit, so I had to improvise as soon as I got there. The library they let me check out the light kit, but they didn't give me a part to connect the actual light to the stand, so that was an issue, which made it impossible for me to use the light kit. So we had to improvise, and once I got there I noticed that he had like a little light stand. It was for, like, for instance, if you're playing in a concert hall and it's dark, sometimes it's hard to see the music and to read the music, so he had a little light stand, and so I used that for my light source, and it seemed to work out okay. I was a little worried that it wouldn't, but today in class Professor Johnson said the lighting was good, so I'm excited. I set up the audio recorder and then I set up the camera, and it was really helpful using the headphones and learning about the techniques that we use in class. I never realized how intricate it was. I mean, I'm just used to writing print stories, so I go in with my questions and my research all done, like with a multimedia story, but instead of having to set up all of these equipment pieces, I would just, ask them if I could record them and then just ask away. It was more like a conversation, but it felt really official, sitting beside the camera and conducting an interview with all of these multimedia pieces involved, and it was really cool how that worked. Um, so yeah, moving forward, the things that I really wanted to work on in the future, I was a little worried about the Steely Dan photos that I got. I didn't have very many. I actually took those in the concert, and he didn't have any. So I had to improvise a little. I'm afraid that the picture quality isn't as great as it could be, but I thought it was essential that we saw Steely Dan, because this is a big component of the story of Jim Pugh. And another couple things that I was worried about was just the lighting, like I had mentioned before. I was worried that the camera was a little shaky, especially on the ending B-roll, a close-up of Jim smiling. I thought it was really essential to have that too, though, because it just fit perfectly with the quote. I noticed that after the interview I sat in on a private lesson that he was giving to a student, and he just had the biggest smile on his face, and I just thought it really featured the passion that he has for his career, especially for the academic side of music. And I really liked that, but I was just worried that it was shaky. I really liked the B-roll of him playing trombone because I got kind of down on my knees and I looked up at him, so you could see the bell of his trombone and the slide as he was playing, and I thought that was really cool. And then I also liked how I got to incorporate still photos too, so that was really fun. I tried my best with cropping. I really feel like I'm learning a lot more about photography and angles. I'm trying to be as creative as I can with those. So moving forward in the future, I would like to make sure that the camera isn't as shaky. I know that's fixed by the tripod, but sometimes when you're going boom, boom, boom really fast, trying to get all your sequences, it can be kind of difficult to use the tripod because it does take a long time when you're adjusting in between shots. I liked my B-roll, but I was afraid that it wasn't as quite of a sequence as Professor Johnson wanted. I did, I think it was a lot easier to avoid like jump cuts and things like that, because I used a lot of like cut-in shots and cutaway shots, and those were really helpful. I know now how important those are when you're shooting video. But in the future, I would really like to get better at maybe setting up the light kit and making sure ahead of time that a part isn't missing, because that was really frustrating, and it was kind of scary on the job because it made me appear like I didn't know what I was doing as much, even though we had practiced setting up the light kits in class. It was a little embarrassing, but we figured it out, and Jim was very nice, and he helped me figure it out as well. But I'm really excited for the next assignments as usual, and I can't wait to kind of come to close with the course and combine all the skill sets that I've learned throughout in the final project. So thanks. This is my 4th video blog.